Let's talk to Tara Cranswick. She is the founder and director of V22 Collection. A very good morning to you, Tara.
Good morning.
Now, if anyone does any forensic work on you, you're actually on the shareholders list as Kathleen, aren't you?
I am. It is officially my first name.
Perfect. Okay, so what do V22 PLC do? They basically, it's all about shares in a contemporary collection of artwork at the emerging end of the market worldwide. What on earth does that mean in my language?
It means we have a contemporary art collection, which is a shared ownership model. So a number of people can own it, including the artists who are represented in the collection.
So in the simplest form, I'm buying shares in a collection of pictures.
In an art collection, yes.
Right. And how do you value that?
Well, we have it independently revalued every 2 years by a gentleman who set up his own company after leaving Sotheby's. He was in the valuation there. And it's really speaking to the artists' galleries, recent sales of works.
But is that accurate in terms of if an estate agent comes around, he tries to sell my house, is that a fair price? Is it exactly the same?
But you know that it depends who wants to buy your house, how much they'll pay. It is. I mean, we have also branched into property and now have a bit of a property portfolio as well as an art one. And I mean, I have problems with valuation at any time. If I had to fire sale the collection, I don't think I'd get the independent valuation.
Right.
If I had a year, I think I could and possibly do better. Okay.
Right, so let's go into a little bit more detail. In terms, you were floated on NEX markets. You've got a market cap of just under £1 million. The mnemonic is V220. Now, it says you've got three different areas of V22, the collection, the studio, and the program. Could you go into some detail about that?
Certainly. So it's sort of designed to cover all the areas of an artist, of the art economy. A great collection for artists to put their work, studios where they make their work, and a program of exhibitions and events which support them and promote them and help us to learn about things and see what's happening out there. So alongside our collection, we manage and run 10 buildings across North and South East London for around 400 tenants. And we've started to not just take artists, but to take creative businesses, entrepreneurs, social enterprises, startups, really everybody who's being squeezed by the commercial property boom in London.
That sounds almost like you're a WeWorks.
It is a bit like WeWorks for artists and startups. So, but you get a studio rather than a desk.
Right.
And it's less fancy. There's less glass.
So, sorry, you've got 20 studios.
We run 10 buildings.
Okay, 10 buildings.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that expensive?
Is it expensive to run?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So how do you get your revenues?
Well, from the rents. So our rental income is about £1 million a year. And the profit margins are quite small because we're affordable, and we really genuinely are affordable, but because we run them across a number of buildings, they work. And we started off with very short-term leases, but now we're more into 10-year, 25-year, and a couple of 125-year leases. So a bit more security.
And this is all based in, effectively, the south?
It's North and South East London, really, yes.
So plans to sort of go around Britain, around the world?
We'll see. It's a hard next step. We were looking at Sheffield. It has the second highest number of studios after London, actually. And then Brexit happened, and the EU money coming out of the culture industries in the UK is going to have a huge effect. And I think we've waited to see what that's going to look like.
Right, so Brexit has had an impact on you.
Yeah, it has.
So if I'm an up-and-coming artist, okay, run me through. Do I have to lock myself into you for years and years? How does it work?
No, you can give us 30 days notice at any time.
Right.
Some people have been with us, we've been running buildings for 12 years, and some people have been with us for 12 years. But otherwise, it's 30 days notice and you can leave.
And how much would I get charged for that?
It depends where you are. Strangely, the building that we've had for longest is in the most sort of trendy part of town in Dalston, which wasn't trendy 12 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
And it's still our most affordable building.
Right.
And the newest ones that we take on is sort of the highest rent. And they also cross-subsidise other models. So we run 2 public libraries in 2 of our buildings that we're going to close down, and we're running them with the local council. We run a nursery come creche, so for sort of flexible work for parents, community studios where people do a range of things. So, but what people are actually paying varies from, I think it's around £13.50 per square foot per year.
Okay.
To, I think our highest is £24.
So in theory, I could turn up one of the studios, drop my kid off here, okay, go to the library, and then do some painting.
You could, yeah.
And do people do that?
Yeah.
In terms of having an artist, okay, I would have thought they would sit on a riverfront, or would they want to be in Dalston?
Lots of them want to be in Dalston. Dalston's very trendy at the moment. But no, not particularly on a river. I mean, London is a really exciting place to be for contemporary art. I think it's sort of slowly changing, but since the YBAs, it's been the most exciting place in the world, really, for it.
Well, I absolutely love London. I think it's just the greatest place on the planet. Expansion plans?
Expansion plans, we are taking on more buildings in London. Again, looking at other cities, not just in the UK now, but in Europe. We want to continue to grow our collection. We've spent, I suppose, the last 3 or 4 years concentrating quite hard on our property portfolio, because the sector is so insecure that we wanted to just get longer term leases.
Yeah.
So it's time to look back at the collection again and to grow that a bit.
Right.
Just keep going.
So I've got to wrap up and ask you this. Why should I consider having your shares in my portfolio?
As an individual, it's unlikely that you could hold an art collection, a contemporary art collection that was worth, its last valuation was 2015, 1.6 million. But you could share one, and you can take the work home with you. And what lots of our shareholders think...
So if I'm a shareholder, I can actually borrow one of the paintings and take it home?
You take it home.
That's pretty cool.
We insist we install it, but yes, you can take it home.
And how complicated is that?
It's not complicated at all.
So would somebody go on the tube with one of these prints? Or
No.
So a big armoured vehicle comes around your house?
Not necessarily an armoured vehicle, but depending on the size of the work.
Right.
And we send technicians, and they check where you want to hang it as well.
Right.
And they install it. And you pay for the installation, but there are no other costs.
So over the Christmas period, I can have a festive picture, part of the collection.
Yeah, you could.
That's quite convincing. And in terms of the shareholders, are they all your friends and family, or have you got institutions
I've got
involved?
some friends and families. We have very few institutions. It's mostly individuals. A lot are artists, because we buy work for a mixture of cash and shares and sometimes space. So the last count, we were 43% owned by our artists, which is great, because they feed back into the future of the collection. Yes, I suppose it is. And others are people who think that it's an innovative way to support contemporary art.
Well, on that note, Tara Cranswick, thank you very much. Absolutely thought-provoking. And one day I might just come up and check it out in Dalston. Thank you for your time.